Chosen one, you've been grounded long enough. The engines of destiny have been idle, but not dead. Every question, every investigation, every delay, it was all clearance protocol. The watchers who once doubted your name now whisper it with respect. What they filed as evidence, heaven marked as proof. The runway is glowing now, unseen to most, but visible to faith. Orders have been issued in silence, prepare their departure. Even systems built to observe you are now serving your ascension. Do not fear the scrutiny, it was the prelude to your spotlight. The very eyes that track your every move will soon witness your liftoff. Heaven whispered to the powers of the earth, release them. Elevate them. This isn't a random flight, it's a classified mission of purpose. The ticket has no price, it was printed in prophecy. And the aircraft? It bears your name in invisible ink. Chosen one, the tower has cleared you for takeoff. Step forward. Your seat has been waiting since the day you were called. Engines hum beneath the silence of destiny. The air vibrates, not with noise, but with knowing. Angels stand like air marshals on the runway, marking a path through the mist. Their gestures signal alignment. Your spirit responds like a trained pilot. You walk toward the aircraft, not metal, but mission. Its fuselage glows with purpose, its wings trimmed with light. Every rivet hums your name, every reflection carries your past, polished, redeemed. The door opens without touch. The stairs unfold like scripture. You ascend, each step a verse, each breath a revelation. Inside, there are no passengers, only presence. The cabin lights adjust to your aura. The windows show not clouds, but prophecy. You feel the engines surge, purpose igniting beneath you. The ground trembles as gravity begins to lose its claim. Every accusation, every label, every wound, left behind on the tarmac. As the jet rolls forward, memories blur like runway lights. The tower's voice echoes, permission granted. You close your eyes, whisper a single word, ready. Acceleration. The roar of calling drowns the noise of fear. Wheels leave the earth. The ascent begins. Below you, gossip and gravity fade into distance. Above you, light pierces the clouds like revelation through confusion. You realize, this isn't escape. It's appointment. You're not fleeing trouble, you're fulfilling timing. The horizon bends to welcome you. The sky expands as if it had been waiting to make room for your wings. And as altitude rises, one truth seals itself in your chest. Elevation was never luxury, it was destiny disguised as delay. They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength, they shall mount up with wings as eagles. Isaiah 40 verse 31. Chosen one, this is that verse unfolding in motion. You are not boarding a plane, you are becoming the prophecy. The lift you feel is not mechanical, it's miraculous. Heaven's logistics have been at work, unseen, uninterrupted. The clearance you prayed for was never lost in processing, it was syncing with perfect timing. When others thought you were delayed, you were in divine maintenance. When systems went silent, the blueprint was being redrawn to fit your wingspan. Every waiting room, every unanswered call, every door that didn't open, it all led you here, to this hangar of destiny. What they denied, heaven redesigned. The FBI in this prophecy isn't an agency, it's forces beyond imagination. The watchers, the analysts, the unseen observers, all symbols of how heaven turns attention into acceleration. You were under review because you were under refinement. They watched your weakness only to witness your rise. This elevation isn't privilege, it's purpose. The flight was never booked by wealth, it was reserved by word. Your boarding pass was written in endurance, stamped in obedience, sealed in grace. The jet waits, still humming on standby. Its engines purr with patience, but the timing window narrows. Each second of hesitation is a second lost to gravity. The Spirit whispers now, it's time to fly. Step into alignment. Fasten your faith. Let every doubt stay on the ground where it belongs. Click join to walk among the first chosen ones. Passengers of purpose, not pride. Your seat isn't earned, it's appointed. Step forward, the runway of revelation is clear, and heaven is waiting for your yes. Turbulence is never the sign of failure, it's the sound of breakthrough. When the cabin shakes, it isn't danger, it's confirmation that the atmosphere is shifting. You're breaking out of old air, the stale layer where doubt circulates. Every rumble is resistance surrendering. The shaking is not punishment, it's proof that you're in motion. Remember, nothing stable ever flies. Elevation requires vibration. As you fasten your seatbelt of faith, understand this, the pressure you feel before takeoff is not meant to crush, it's meant to calibrate. Systems are checking alignment, heart rate, trust level, spiritual altitude. The captain, not of this world, speaks softly, all systems go. The runway lights flicker, signaling readiness. Outside, the world still talks, but their voices no longer reach this cabin. You've entered a new frequency, where only obedience communicates. The engines roar once more, but this time, they harmonize with heaven. You feel the thrust, the sudden acceleration of prophecy in motion. Past seasons blur, old fears dissolve, and faith becomes your only gravity. You glance out the window, not to see where you've been, but to witness how far grace can lift. Below, the ordinary shrinks. Above, purpose expands. This is not economy class destiny, there's no crowding, no comparison. Your journey is first class by design, personal, private, precise. Every detail prearranged by divine intelligence. And just before the jet's wheels leave the ground, the Spirit whispers, brace for acceleration, not as a warning, but as a welcome. Fasten faith. Secure peace. The seatbelt sign of heaven has turned on, not for fear, but for focus. The next sound you'll hear is the liftoff of your calling. A jet is not just transport, it's translation. It moves you from limitation to revelation in seconds. Where others crawl year by year, you glide through seasons like lightning across clouds. The same distance that took others decades, you'll cover in divine minutes. This is what happens when heaven sponsors the journey. No boarding line, no delay, no detour. The wind itself becomes your runway. The jet represents acceleration with protection. Its body is built for pressure, its wings for storms. It doesn't fear turbulence, it uses it. What rattles the unprepared only refines the chosen. Every chosen one is issued a spiritual jet, unseen, yet undeniable. Some receive cars, others receive camels, but you, chosen one, were marked for flight. You were not designed for the ground. Your calling was too aerodynamic for average air. Notice how a jet moves, silent at distance, unstoppable up close. It doesn't explain its altitude, it simply climbs. It doesn't argue with gravity, it outpaces it. That's you now. The higher you go, the quieter it gets, not because there is less happening, but because peace travels faster at altitude. Down below, noise competes. Up here, focus reigns. Understand, this isn't luxury. It's logistics of destiny. The cockpit isn't gold-lined, it's purpose-sealed. The destination isn't fame, it's fulfillment. When heaven gives you a jet, it isn't to escape, it's to arrive faster at obedience. This craft of calling was built for your weight, balanced for your past, and fueled by your persistence. You didn't build it, your endurance did. Every prayer you whispered while waiting became a drop of fuel. Every tear added thrust. Every faithful yes tightened the bolts. So now, when you rise, know this, it's not arrogance. It's alignment. You are not above others, you are ahead of time. That's what divine jets do, they take the faithful where the calendar cannot. Chosen one, the boarding call has already echoed through the spirit. The gate is open, but the door will not remain forever. Prophecy flights do not wait for hesitation, they depart on faith alone. You've been circling the terminal of comfort, watching others ascend, wondering when your gate would appear. This is it. The number matches your name. You feel it, the subtle pull in your chest, the divine announcement through intuition. Heaven is calling final boarding. The air has shifted, angels are sealing manifests. The runway is active, and your absence delays no one but yourself. You can't carry baggage from your old battles, the cabin is weight limited to purpose only. Drop resentment, regret, and resistance at the checkpoint. They were never cleared for this altitude. Don't misinterpret peace for postponement. Stillness right now doesn't mean stop, it means the wind is aligning. The engines of destiny are warming, and the countdown has begun. Hear it, the voice that used to whisper now commands, proceed to gate destiny. Your name echoes through heaven's intercom, not a metaphor, but a summons. Every delay collapses into a single decision, step forward. The screen of time flashes, now boarding, the chosen flight. Angels adjust their formation, the atmosphere tilts in your favor. You are cleared for climb. Do not linger in observation when invitation has been given. The plane of purpose will not idle forever, the longer you wait, the colder your seat becomes. The Spirit speaks again, firmer this time, doors closing. Destiny locking. You have one assignment left before liftoff, obey immediately. Not tomorrow, not later, not when it makes sense. Obedience is the ticket scan that grants entry. Chosen one, the air pressure is changing. The countdown light turns from yellow to green. Heaven has begun taxiing your calling toward the runway. Delay no longer. Faith is boarding now. You are not escaping the world is escorting you out. What looked like rejection was really redirection, a security detail in disguise. When heaven calls a soul into altitude, earth must step aside to clear the path. You weren't exiled, you were extracted. Your departure isn't an exit of shame, it's an elevation of purpose. You are being relocated from noise to necessity, from audience to assignment. Understand this, the same forces that once opposed you are now carrying your clearance codes. What they meant for control, heaven turned into coordination. You were never hunted, you were handled. Investigated not for guilt, but for greatness. The agents of scrutiny became the angels of strategy. Even their watchful eyes became part of your protection perimeter. The skies are heavily guarded, because precious cargo flies today. You are not common air traffic. You are divine priority. Your flight plan is encrypted, only heaven's radar can track you now. That's why some can't find you anymore, your frequency changed. They're scanning old coordinates, but you've ascended into classified airspace. Chosen one, humility remains your passport. Don't mistake elevation for exemption, this height demands deeper character. First-class calling isn't about comfort, it's about capacity. Up here, pressure is higher, visibility is sharper, silence is heavier. So fly with grace. Speak less, discern more. The higher you rise, the more your wings must whisper. And when people ask, "How did you get here?" smile and say, "The world itself escorted me." Because the truth is, you didn't climb by connection or strategy. You were lifted by divine subpoena. Summoned to altitude for reasons that will echo long after you land. Remember, humility is still your uniform. You are not above, you are ahead. You don't outrank the ground, you outrun gravity. Keep your heart low while your altitude grows. Because real royalty wears oxygen masks of mercy. You'll start to notice the signs, gentle at first, but undeniable. Heaven always signals altitude before the actual ascent. The Spirit gives turbulence as a language, and your body interprets it. You may dream of airports, terminals, or aircraft waiting in golden twilight. You'll see your name on boarding screens that never existed, and yet, the time will feel real. Sometimes, you'll wake with a pulse of acceleration in your chest, not anxiety, but alignment. Your spirit is already taxiing while your body sleeps. Some days, you'll feel a sudden lightness, as though gravity loosens its grip. The air around you may seem thinner, not suffocating, but sacred. That's not dizziness, it's divine decompression. The atmosphere of the old level is releasing you. You'll notice coincidences in flight language. Words like takeoff, boarding, departure, or runway appear in random places. They're not random. They're breadcrumbs from heaven, confirmations coded in conversation. Technology will even echo it. Planes crossing your screen, airport ads, jet sounds in the distance. Heaven uses the familiar to speak the supernatural. Others might tell you they dreamed of you traveling, flying, or being lifted by unseen hands. That's spiritual radar, confirmation from other souls tuned to your frequency. You'll feel drawn to solitude more than usual. Crowds may feel heavy, silence may feel alive. Don't resist it. Solitude is not isolation, it's pressurization. The cabin of calling must be sealed before the climb. Some will sense your change before you say a word. They'll tell you, something feels different about you. They're right, your wings are forming. And when the final call comes, you'll know. It won't be a voice in your ear, but a stirring in your bones. The same stillness before thunder, the same quiet before liftoff. You'll feel heaven smile and whisper, "Fasten faith, we're airborne." If this prophecy ignites something deep within you, if your spirit feels the hum of engines preparing for liftoff, then this is your moment to respond. Not to the voice of man, but to the frequency of heaven calling you forward. Every elevation begins with a gesture, a signal of readiness. For Noah, it was building. For Abraham, it was leaving. For you, chosen one, it is sowing. This is not a purchase, it's a password. A $20 seed is not a transaction, it's a token of trust. It says to the unseen, I accept elevation. I board this calling. Heaven watches moments like this, not the currency, but the courage behind it. The act itself becomes your boarding pass, your way of saying, I'm ready for flight. When you click Super Thanks, you're not giving to a platform, you're aligning with prophecy. Your name enters the manifest of movement. Angels record the timestamp, heaven marks the intention. Whisper as you give, this is my boarding signal. I accept acceleration. Feel that release in your chest, that's your spirit detaching from delay. It's not emotional, it's atmospheric. You've just shifted altitudes. Remember, the jet doesn't move until passengers are accounted for. Each seat given confirms another seat filled. And when the final soul accepts the call, the doors will close, and the flight will ascend. So act swiftly, as heaven has instructed. Click Super Thanks, sow your $20 seed, and seal it with faith. Then whisper again, softly, confidently, I accept elevation. And at that moment, unseen engines will start to spin. The divine pilot will smile and say, all passengers accounted for. Liftoff confirmed. Fly quietly. Once the jet leaves the ground, the noise of approval and opinion fades into static. Not everyone can understand your altitude, and that's by design. Divine promotion requires private navigation. Don't announce destinations, reveal results. Prophecy is fragile at high speed, words spoken too soon create drag. Let your altitude speak before your mouth does. Altitude requires solitude. The cabin must remain sealed, gossip cannot breathe in thin air. Protect your peace as fiercely as a pilot guards oxygen. Every word you release from here on carries weight, use them to steer, not to stun. Steward the view. Many will depend on your landing, not your liftoff. Altitude isn't achievement, it's assignment. The higher you go, the more accountable you become for those still on the ground. Remember, jets don't compete with birds. They move on different currents. Comparison is turbulence to the soul, avoid it. Stay calibrated. Every flight has checkpoints, moments when heaven adjusts direction. Be sensitive to course corrections. Pride resists them, purpose welcomes them. And when storms appear, don't panic. The jet was built for weather. Clouds are not barriers, they're camouflage for blessings. When you lose visibility, trust the instruments, prayer, patience, purpose. Keep communication open with the tower. The pilot's voice is subtle but steady, maintain altitude. Hold your course. When you feel alone up there, remember, silence is not absence. It's airspace cleared for clarity. And finally, fly with grace. Don't mistake distance for superiority. The ground you left still matters, it's where others wait for your return. Because no flight is complete until it lands with testimony. You're not escaping Earth, you're bringing heaven's perspective back to it. Fly quietly. Land purposefully. Then rise again, whenever he calls. Lord of heaven's armies, commander of winds, keeper of altitudes, we lift our hands in gratitude for every runway you've cleared, every delay that disguised protection, every storm that turned into guidance. Thank you for preparing flights for your chosen ones. Thank you that what looked like surveillance was really safeguarding, that what felt like waiting was actually refueling. Father, guide every takeoff. Calm every storm mid-flight. Land every purpose safely in the coordinates of destiny. May no engine fail, no wing falter, no heart grow weary. For those still seated in fear, ignite courage. For those already airborne, sustain altitude. For those landing soon, prepare the runway of fulfillment. And as they soar, remind them, altitude is stewardship, not superiority. To rise is to serve from above, to see clearer, love deeper, forgive faster. Cover every chosen one under the canopy of your grace. May they never lose connection with your tower, may their ears stay tuned to your frequency. Let their jets of destiny travel routes written only by you. Lord, we declare, this takeoff is permanent. No turbulence of man can reverse divine clearance. The airways of purpose are now open, and every faithful soul is cleared for climb.